Hello.
How is everyone? I hope you're well.
We're okay.
We're okay. Hey, you're listening to Outside the Cinema, your weekly source for cult movie discussions. We're your hosts, Bill and Chris.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you're a friend of the show, welcome. If you're a hater, welcome.
Yeah.
We don't get haters anymore. We don't draw enough people to even have people that hate us.
Yeah, if they don't like us, they just go away, and that's
No, they just never find us. Don't get a chance to hate us.
Well, that's better, I think.
Yeah, we're rounding out some Patreon stuff this week, and we're in for a doozy. These are Jay's picks. I'll read his email momentarily. It was short and sweet and to the point, and when I read
Was
it,
it fuck you?
Kind of. Kind of it was. Kind of was. But in like the most like I like hearing you guys get it. It's like you guys are entertaining when you're frustrated.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
yeah, welcome back to the show, everyone. Thanks for listening. There's been a whole bunch of updates on Riverside, our software and board. So if anything sounds a little off, I'm still trying to work with it. I know last week the shows didn't go out to Twitch and Facebook like they normally do. I think there's a settings thing, and we're actually recording later than we normally do, so I didn't even get a chance to check that. So I'm assuming it's probably not going out there today either. Hopefully I'll fix that next week. I know there is some people that will go and watch the show after the fact in those places. So I'll hopefully get that figured out for next week. I had a weekend, man. I had a wedding in Newport that we went up to on Friday, and it was one of those classic weddings that had like all the rigmarole to go with it. You know, there was a dinner, and then there was a long Catholic mass to go with the wedding, and then a 5-hour reception, and then a breakfast the next morning.
And then they all left to play hide and seek.
It was actually an egg hunt.
No.
On a non-Easter weekend. No, I'm kidding. It was great. It was my It was my cousin's wedding. We had a really good time, and it was great to see everybody because I don't always get to see my family, that side of the family, who I actually genuinely like nearly as much as I would like to. So it's always great when we get to see them. But it was just, it was a long weekend, and Newport's a 2-hour plus drive. And then on Sunday, Mel had to go. So we went down on Friday, stayed Friday night and Saturday night. Wedding was on Saturday. And then Mel had a work trip she had to go to. So I had to drive her rather than from Newport to home, Newport to Providence, drop her off at the train station in Providence, and then drive home. So it wasn't like crazy out of the way, but like driving to Providence, like Newport's here, Providence here, home here.
Yeah.
Like
it was a few things.
Yeah, it added a little bit of extra time. And it was already exhausted because anytime you have a wedding, you're wiped out for a couple days afterwards. So I was just like, I got home and was on the couch. And then on Monday, I had to have a crown put in on Monday morning.
Okay. Yep. That's always not fun.
Yeah. And I've had so many root canals in my life that like I didn't have a root canal on this tooth, and I forgot that like when they don't do the root canal, you still feel the shit in the tooth.
Yeah.
So it was wiped out all day on Monday because they actually did a really good job putting the temporary crown in.
Oh.
I then couldn't get it out. So they were yanking and pulling around trying to get it out. And I was like, hey, yo.
Wow.
I can feel all this. And they're like, oh, let us give you some Novocaine. And then they gave me too much Novocaine, so I was numb all day.
Oh.
And it wore off, and it was just throbbing away because they jerked it around so much.
Jesus. Is it better now?
It's better now. Yeah, no, it feels good now. It's still a little bit sore because they had it's funny because I've had temporary crowns a number of times over the years, and they're falling out on me.
Oh,
like, okay. I can't keep them in. This one, they were like, oh, she's got her foot up on my chest, pulling, and like, not really, but that's what it felt like. So, and then I had a shoot on Tuesday morning. I did my first political ad, not really an ad, but like so we have an election coming up in town on April 28th for town council, and this gentleman, I won't name him just in case, but he stopped at the house randomly and like wrote a handwritten note because we have one of those signs out front that's like, we respect science and we respect genders.
Oh,
and,
okay.
like one of those like ones that lists like basically all of the stuff that Trump supporters don't believe in. Like, hey, but we believe.
Stand for that matter.
Yeah, or choose to even acknowledge as a thing. So we've got one of those signs out there, and he stopped by the house one day last week and hand wrote a note that was like, hey, I saw your sign. Just, my name's such and such. I'm running for town council. Wanted to stop by and say hi. It looks like you guys, your beliefs,
are cool,
align with what what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. And so we reached back out to him and like, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. And I was like, hey, I'm a filmmaker, video producer. So if you want me to, I'll donate you some time and do a video for you. So we filmed it yesterday. I've been editing it this morning, and
nice.
It's always exhausting just to do those things.
I can imagine, yeah.
Especially with somebody I didn't know. So it was kind of like, okay, does this guy got his shit prepared? Is he ready to like really, go? And he was prepared, but
good.
Also then had a hard time voicing his stuff.
Okay.
In a clear, concise manner, because he had so many ideas and he had all these different things, and so he's tripping over his words.
I'm guessing he's new to the whole
he's young. He's in his late 20s. But he's a good. Seems like a good guy. Seems like he has a good heart and has his head in the right place. And honestly, what our town needs is we need young guys, or not even just young guys, girls, they, them, whoever wants to be in there. We just need people that are younger and are not of the status quo in our town. And it's nice because things have been shifting that way for a number of years.
Because when you think of the place you live in, I think of crusty old white people, old white people, like boomers that should just give up and let other people take over because it's their time to do that. Yeah,
people, they complain about every time a new housing project goes up, or new apartments, or they complain about everything.
And you want to say you're not even going to be alive to see it finished, so shut the fuck up.
Well, that's they're building a new high school here, and it took years. It took years to get it through, and like each year it would get a little bit closer to getting through, and then it hit that tipping point a couple years back where it was like, no, okay, now we're going to get the high school done, which is great because we really, really needed one.
Well, we're in this situation because of education.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to it. Greed and education.
Yeah.
If the population was better educated, they wouldn't have been able to get away with the greed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am all for new schools and learning and all that good stuff. So good. I like this guy.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude. So I've been editing his stuff. And we'll hopefully get it up on the places it needs to get up. So cool. All right. What do you want to go? You got any housekeeping here you want to hit?
No, I've had a week already, so I'm good. Spectopia is doing good. We're loading more stuff into channel 27, and just if you want to, please, we could use money. I'm bad at this. I really am. I draw stuff. Some of it's neat, some of it you'll like, some of it you won't. Buy the stuff anyway. I don't know. I draw cute ghosts, monsters, and then horrible things, and then real photorealistic looking stuff. And we're trying to find an identity and a way to go with all of it. So we're just trying. It doesn't cost anything except time. So I don't know. I suck at promoting myself. I'll get a script in like 6 years, and I'll be able to do it then.
Cool. I can't promise we'll still be doing the show in 6 years, but
no, I say we hit 1,000 and then do 1,001 and
then fart it out. All right, let's get into the show for this week. As we said, these are Jay's Patreon picks. Hey, if you're listening to the show, support us. Go to patreon.com/outsidethecinema. All the money that we generate through our Patreon goes back into keeping the show alive, paying our hosting fees, equipment fees, whatever else we need to do to keep the show going. And you can choose films for us to cover. Usually once or twice a year, depending on how many we get, we'll put it out there. And we've got some really interesting ones. And these are from Jay, who's a fairly long-time supporter, I believe.
Yeah.
Has to say, hey, gentlemen, I'm sorry in advance.
Okay, fair.
But I'm hitting you with two for trash. I honestly find your most entertaining episodes are when you guys are really frustrated with something. So I chose two films that I promise you aren't good, but hopefully will elicit some sort of entertaining conversation.
All right.
First up, Death Dancers. I don't even know what this is or where it came from. Maybe you can figure it out. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth checking out. We'll find out.
Second is a little sci-fi epic called TC 2000.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Tybo? Yeah, me either. But Billy Blanks made this movie and thought he was going to be an action star. What say you, fellas?
Yeah.
That's
okay,
it.
that's fair. That's
fair.
it.
That's all you're out.
All right.
So yeah, our two flicks this week. TC 2000, starring Tybo master Billy Blanks, and Death Dancers, starring a bunch of porn stars.
Some people.
Starring some people.
It's difficult to tell because of the quality. I couldn't make out anybody's face, really.
Yeah. It's it's interesting because I'd heard of TC 2000 because it is one of those weird, like, before they were a star pieces that somebody made that you're just kind of like, I don't even know what the fuck, like, where this came from. Billy Blanks obviously became very, very popular in the early 2000s for his Tybo videos.
Yep.
Which is really kind of like interesting to see based on what we got here for this. So go figure.
Well, I think the one thing you can learn from this and his Tybo stuff is that he is a really good personal motivator in front of the camera, not so much actor. And those are two completely separate worlds. So I can understand why you do one, you think you could do the other, but not just because you're in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're always good at it. But then again, he was incredibly successful with his whole thing. So
absolutely.
Why not give it a shot? Eddie Murphy sang My Girl Wants to Party all the time.
That's a fucking great song.
And I still listen to that here and there.
Here and there. All right. Well, let's start with TC 2000.
Okay.
Since we just talked about it, there is a trailer. So let's take a listen.
In a time just beyond tomorrow, where the surface world has become a war zone, the underworld cities have become electronic fortresses, and the only hope is an ex-cop and an executioner. Death to the underworld! They killed his partner and created the perfect killing machine.
I give to you the TC-2000X.
The TC-2000X was conceived to protect the people in my quadrant. That was her sole purpose.
Zoe's me! Zoe, stop it!
Let me show you what real power feels like.
They're destroying the surface world.
I know.
You're killing me!
Nicky Picasso's going down, with you or without you. I waited a long time for this moment. You killed my partner.
My time to leave.
Surface world cleansing will commence at T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Starring Bolo Young, Jalal Mereh, Billy Blanks, Matthias Hughes, TC 2000.
There you have it. Billy Blank's not even the number one listed guy. He actually has a bunch of stuff that he's starred in. He was in The Last Boy Scout. He was in Jack and Jill as himself. He was in Kazam. He was in Kiss the Girls. And recently he's gone back into martial arts films. He was in The Last Kumite in 2024, The Circuit 4.
Oh, isn't that Kumite? Like Bloodsport?
Sure.
Okay.
The Clapper, Almost Amazing. Let's see here. When was Tybo started?
I want to say 97 for some reason.
That doesn't sound bad. It says, in the late 90s, Billy's innovative and exciting Tybo workout routine swept around the world like wildfire and propelled him into the position of one of the most recognizable and biggest selling fitness trainers. The remarkable Blanks continues to refine and promote his unique Tybo fitness system as he operates the Billy Blanks World Training Center in Sherman Oaks, California. So I would say, they say in the late 90s.
Okay.
But I mean, there was a point where Tybo was everywhere, man.
Yeah, and the weird thing about Tybo is it's like it's shadow boxing. Basically, it's just moving, and it's fucking tiring if you've never done it before. So I get why people loved it. I did it for a little while, and every day I said, "Fuck you, Billy Blanks." About 5 minutes into the whole thing,
I know. Obviously,
but I would try it. I would do it.
Yeah, no, and it's anything that gets you moving and can't hate on.
He's got personality in those tapes.
He seems like a likable guy. Like he doesn't, I don't have any problems with him. I mean, there's a lot of definite fitness instructors that I do have problems with.
Yeah.
Tony Little, for example. But that's a story for another day. Anyway.
What's her name? Jillian Michaels? Is that her name?
Yep. Well, she's the Biggest Loser one, right?
I don't know, but I heard she went full on the way we don't want people to go.
She
did.
did.
I could be thinking of somebody else.
No, I think you are right.
Okay.
Also,
That's too bad.
also one of the main stars, Bolo Young, obviously, Bloodsport, Double Impact, Enter the Dragon.
For me, he's the one that brings this movie any level of credibility.
For sure.
Not
one
that
of
Billy
the
Blanks isn't a talented martial artist. I don't want to say that.
He's actually he does pretty good. He holds his own.
Yeah.
The two of them are great. It's everybody else that seems to be the issue. You also have Jalal Murray as Nicky Picasso. He's also got a long list of different martial arts films he was into. He was in the Circuit films and Tiger Claws. He was a producer and executive producer on a series from 2020 called Botox Queen of New York.
Okay.
Looks like he's done a lot of production work, actually.
All right.
He directed some of the circuit films. I've never seen any of those, but I know I think like Billy Blanks is in all of them, if I'm not mistaken.
That would make sense. If they work together, they would get to know each other and want to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also Bobby Phillips, she plays the partner and the Terminator character. She's also made a good career for herself, working in a number of different TV shows and then supporting roles in films. I would say she's best known for, but there really I don't think is anything. She was the main star of the Chameleon flicks, which I think I saw the first one, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't really remember. And that was also some kind of like a female Terminator, Dark Angel type thing.
Oh, okay.
She actually also played one thing of note here. She was the first female Crow in that short-lived Crow TV series they did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, she was in like Stargate SG-1. She did an episode of that.
Okay.
Episode of Boy Meets World, Murder One, episode of The X-Files. She was one of the extras dancers in Showgirls.
Okay.
A couple episodes of Baywatch, Bold and the Beautiful, some Cinemax smut, like Animal Instincts 2. And if I'm not mistaken, too, she also went Holy Roller recently. That seems to be a thing. To be a thing. Anyway, getting back to TC2000, somewhere in an apocalyptic future where the rich live underground and the poor are left to fend for themselves on the surface by forming gangs, corrupt members of the underground security force plot to destroy the surface. It's directed by T.J. Scott, written by G. Stephen Miranda, and who's the other person? And T.J. Scott worked on the writing of it too. T.J. Scott worked on a number of series over the years: Star Trek Discovery, Gotham, Spartacus.
Okay.
So, what are you doing?
I'm not sanding anything to paint later. No. Sorry, I didn't know if it would be picked up, so I'll stop.
Fair enough. Worked on an episode of the Taken TV show, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Me either. There's so many
episode of The Mist.
Ugh.
3 episodes of The Strain.
We don't talk about that missed TV show on this show.
Episode of Bates Motel.
Okay.
2 episodes of Dark Matter. So yeah, he's a TV. The majority of his stuff in the last 15, 20 years is as a TV director for hire.
Which isn't even a bad thing.
No, that's
I can't see how that's looked down on anymore.
No, especially if you're doing big shows like Discovery and stuff like that. I mean, those are legit productions. So
yep.
So this film came out in 1993. It is very much of that like Terminator. What's the other one? The other one that I was like, oh, this is just a ripoff of
RoboCop.
Yeah, definitely RoboCop. Yep, that wasn't what I was thinking of, but that's an even better one.
Okay. Van Damme's Cyborg. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, Cyborg. I can't remember what the hell was the other one I was thinking of.
Rutger Hauer's Split Seconds. Demolition Man.
Demolition Man's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
But they reversed it. It's not the same. All right, because the poor people are up top this time. Ugh.
Yeah. So this takes place in the distant future of 2020.
Yeah.
Basically, what it is the environment has crashed. It's really bad on the surface. Hard to breathe. It's hot. There was a group that made an underground city.
So today.
No, not today. Like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, like 6 years ago. I watched something the other day, and it took place in 2050, and I'm like, fucking finally, something that's a futuristic movie that takes place in the future.
Oh man. But it's funny because I've watched like Silo and what the heck's the one that's on Hulu? Homecoming or another one, but there's like a number of series where basically like the surface has become uninhabitable and people are now living in a massive thing underground. Silo is far better than this. We'll say that.
I would hope so.
Silo's excellent. I don't know if you've watched it or not.
I haven't, and I remember you telling me it was good, and I'm like, okay, good, I'll check it out. And then I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Maybe? It's really good. New season, I think, coming this summer, if I'm not mistaken.
The one that keeps pulling my attention is the show called From. And
I watched the first 2 series of that. Or first 2 seasons.
What genre is it?
It's horror, thriller, kind of.
All right, good.
That's the one where like you can't go out at night, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I think really don't.
It's on Paramount.
Apple? Paramount? I don't know. It's somewhere. But that one I keep seeing it. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try that one too.
Yeah, it's got Michael from Lost in it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like him.
Yeah. I Come in Peace. That was the movie I was trying to think of.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But so the story you got here, surface is not uninhabitable, but not fun.
Yeah. It's like Mad Max.
I
would assume.
Yeah, I'd gather that. So you have the TCs, which stands for Tracker Communicators. So you have Billy Blanks and his partner, Zoe Kinsella. And Zoe is the daughter of the man who created the underground cities. They're basically like border patrol agents, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas they're like up there to keep people that are not allowed to come into the underground city. And it's never really clear who's supposed to be in the or like who was. I mean, it's clear in terms of like the people that were rich and could afford to be there. But they don't really go too specifically into it. And it also seems like they haven't necessarily lived underground for all that long either.
Yeah, it only seems like a couple of years.
Yeah, less than 10 or less, I would say.
Yeah.
So they're these tracker communicators. Billy Blank's character, Jason Storm, basically he's like the number one cop guy. But the guys that live on the surface that run these different gangs, we had mentioned Nicky Picasso runs a gang, and they're basically trying to break in to the underground city. And the way that they enter is they kill the trackers and then use their hold their bodies over them as they go through the sensors so that they don't get shocked. So apparently
we call that the Pacific Rim sidestep.
Yes.
I'll hold the kaiju while we go through the hole. It'll be fun, but you can't get back. I don't care.
It's not important. Details.
Whole movie. There it is.
We also then are introduced to Master Sumai, who's played by Bolo Young, who obviously steals the show as he always tends to do.
Yeah. But this time he's a good guy, so it's not intimidating, which is nice.
Yes. Very rare to see him play the good guy role, and he was the best part of the movie. And
he's got charisma, but like you gotta watch him to like, you can't see it by looking at him,
right.
Because he's got that don't fuck with me face.
Super stoic, super super you don't know me.
Yeah, but
You
this
ain't
is a
never known
completely
me.
different side of him, which is nice to see.
So he is kind of like
not that he's a real person, it's a character, but
yeah. So he's kind of like the unsung leader of like a resistance that's up top, and there's different groups up top. Everyone's vying for power, but the powers that be that live underground basically just want to wipe out what's up there so that they can take it over.
Yeah.
So you got like a controller guy that's doing sleazy things. You got the head guard that's in cahoots with him. And basically what ends up happening is Billy Blanks' partner, Zoe, gets killed in one of these shootouts. And she gets killed by an unseen person who is one of the people from one of the people that's like the commanders and stuff. They took her out.
Yeah.
They were trying to take him out, but end up taking her out in the process and then turn her into the TC-2000.
And then they didn't even bother to take him out. I mean,
they tried.
He was sitting there yelling, crying, like his most emotional scene, which I got to give him credit for probably never having done one before. Not bad. Crying and agony and stuff like that isn't easy for actors. He did all right. But like he's just sitting there holding her body, yelling. Like, why didn't they just walk in and be like, oh, hey, pap, done.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's like she died and the whole fight ended.
So Matthias Hughes, who played Bigelow, the main bodyguard, I didn't put two and two together. He was the main guy in I Come in Peace, which is probably why I was like, oh, this reminds me of I Come in Peace.
Yeah. Okay.
He was the guy who came in peace.
Yeah, that's okay. Out of that makeup, it's okay.
So Zoe gets killed. They immediately swiftly take her body away and they implant her with the TC-2000X software, which essentially turns her into a Terminator. Is what the thing is.
Yeah.
So she's also, I think she's really good in this because she was in a bunch of different things, but I felt like she could have built a nice little niche for herself doing like direct-to-video like action flicks because she's good looking. She's a pretty good actress. And like she plays the role right, so they immediately put her in like a leather corset and like tight pants, and then just have her start kicking everyone's ass. And it's exactly what they should do with her.
Here's my question, right? They take this cop and turn her into a murdering dominatrix, and no one said, "Hey, why do we have to dress her like that?" No. She could have just been in the regular TC outfit. And like been in disguise so you didn't know she was, I don't know, had a computer brain. Like, did she get cyborg parts or anything? I don't remember.
Well, they were like she's still human, but she has all of this hardware and software built into her. It didn't, okay. So first and foremost, this film is needlessly complicated for what it is.
Yes.
Because they're trying to, it's really unclear which gang wants to do what. They got this gang called the Lifers. You got Nikki Picasso's gang. You have the Resistance. You have the guys that are underground that want to wipe out the above ground area. And I think they did. Did they actually? Here's the thing. The end of the movie gets so convoluted. I don't know whether they actually saved the day or not.
I don't either. Because
they were shooting those things off into the atmosphere.
Sides. Yeah. Everybody had an idea and they contributed it to the script, and the script writers felt bad and didn't want to leave anybody's ideas out.
Yeah. Because it's a post-apocalyptic film. It's a sci-fi film. It's a martial arts film.
Yep.
And also they're trying to do this thing with the environment and how, and then also like class warfare and, are the bad guys really the bad guys because they're just doing what they can with what they've been given by the powers that be? And
right. Are they the bad guys because the bad guys say they're the bad guys? Because that's how it happens a lot.
Yeah. There's good stuff about this though. Yeah, it's trash and it's needlessly complicated, but there's some decent fight scenes. Bolo Young is very charismatic on screen, especially when he starts fucking kicking ass, because like he's so jacked
Yeah.
and just like ready to just like fuck up everybody. And I will say that Billy Blanks, I think, does a good job. Needlessly bad haircut.
I was going to say, with his hairline, and I'm not making fun of it, I'm just saying some people have a hairline that starts further back, further forward, different shapes. He should not have had a flat top cut with that hairline.
No.
Because
As a guy whose hairline has migrated further and further back,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm also not walking around with a flat top.
Yeah, because for anybody that doesn't know, like when you do the flat top, basically it's like you're wearing a top hat of hair, and if it's short, you have this thinner stripe down the center of your head where the hair's shorter, and on the sides it's longer to give you that table on the top of your head.
And in the back, it was shaved into like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, and if your hair is thinning or anything, it's gonna look like a deforestation project just on the top of your head. And I think a lot of scenes were unfortunate, like, and I don't mean this to be mean, but the unfortunate lighting during the Christmas special you did years and years and years ago. Anybody that has a spotlight shine straight down on their head is gonna look bald. And if you light Billy Blanks from behind with a flat top haircut, his hair's gonna look thinner than it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they didn't think of that. He did not look good in some scenes.
No, but he did look good in most of the fight scenes, specifically a fight scene he had with Mateus Hughes, where the two of them, they're basically like, listen, this is how we get our aggressions out. If we have a problem with somebody, you guys fight it out. And then, and that's a great fight scene. And then Bolo Young has a great fight scene with Hughes also. This film is really just fight scene after fight scene.
That fight scene, though, as good as it was when they're like, this is how we get our differences out. Like, then you have two injured employees. What good is that?
Dude,
hey,
come on.
our two best cops have a beef with each other, so they're gonna fight each other. No, they're not. They got to work tomorrow. Like, and that part
Well, they get called out of the fight immediately into a call.
Yeah. So they got to go in all beat up and concussed and shit. Great. Well, I guess we're going for real life here, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of guys lubed up in the baby oil.
Yeah.
A lot of tough tits, as the expression goes.
Right.
Female, we should probably just grade. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I'm
else
good
to
with
say
that.
about it. All right, Chris, TC 2000. Do you recommend, and what is your grade?
I am not going to recommend it, but I did sort of have fun watching it with my kids.
Fair.
It's bad. It's absolutely like, it's sort of like if you're an artist and you are doing a painting and you have oil left on your palette and you're like, I don't want to, I'm just going to fucking use it up. Cause you only got a little bit left. You don't want to waste it. Right. So you just make a painting and you just go with it and it's whatever, but you did it. It's done. That's how this feels. Like, hey, we can make a movie. We got Billy Blanks, which no shade toward him at all. Motherfucker works his ass off from what I can tell. But it's a terrible story. I mean, it's just,
There just
it's
isn't
just not
anything
good.
there.
Yeah. I complain that Christopher Nolan and his brother sometimes, most times now, makes his scripts too dense and too complicated because he can, because maybe people expect it. I don't know. All I know is that there's some of his movies that they add a little too much in and it kind of takes me out of it, you know?
Yeah.
This I just couldn't get into it because there was no time where everything just settled into that this is the plan, this is what we're going to do kind of thing. It really did feel like 5 or 6 people all wanting to do different things at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't develop any of them.
No, and then it just kind of ends. So for campiness, this would get a B. But for a movie, I'm just gonna give it a C-. I'm not gonna really shit on it. Because it did keep me interested in the fact of, oh, what movie did they get that from? Where did they get that from? And I don't mind. I don't mind if you're taking your references and shit, especially if you're a smaller direct-to-video thing like this and you want to throw your homages in. Okay, fine. I didn't see many because it was such a mess. And the transfer could have been better. It was very VHS-y, wasn't it?
Yeah. It had all the hallmarks.
I mean, it felt warm and fuzzy and, nice like those old movies should. But I think I would get stuck watching this on a Sunday afternoon if I was just sitting there. So that's it. It's a Sunday afternoon, where's the remote kind of movie. So I'll go C-.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be mean to it, because it's not incompetent in an insulting way like some other stuff we've done. It's just
I agree
underdeveloped, I think is a good way to say it.
Okay.
And I really thought I was going to shit on this thing way more.
All right, don't worry, we got another movie to go.
I know.
So, I'm gonna give it this kind of like weird, loose, side-eyed recommend, because there's some good fight scenes. If you like Bolo Young, like he's in it enough, and Bobby that plays the Terminator chick, she does a really good job. I think she's not a very good martial artist, but she does good with what she's given, and she looks great. And Billy Blanks is, a good martial artist. So, you've got all of that going for you, but it's a fucking mess. And like, there's no drive to push any of your plots forward. And we got to the end of it and I was still kind of like, wait, who wants to do what? This gang is trying to do this, but then the guy that's the leader of the underground wants to do this, but also what's going on here? Are they actually trying to stop that? Like, and I was just confused.
It's like they forgot to work up the motivation for each side.
Yeah.
So then you're just like, okay, whatever.
They do their best though, it's got all the hallmarks of that 90s post-apocalypse, RoboCop, Terminator, like just they do all of that without any of the money.
Yeah,
so,
and for that they didn't do a terrible job.
I've seen worse. Worse.
Yeah, we have 100%.
So, Jason said that this was trash, and it is trash.
Yeah,
but it's not nearly as bad as it could be.
Yeah, no, it's not insulting. Trash.
Yeah, so I'll give it a C. I also think, and I don't know, maybe this happened for you. I watched the second film, Death Dancers, first.
Oh, I did not.
Oh, okay, so I watched that. I thought maybe I liked TC 2000 more because I watched Death Dancers first. Because I will go on record before we get into this review that this is probably top 10, maybe top 5 worst / most confusing / triple question mark films we've ever covered. I'd say I'd play you a trailer. Couldn't find one.
No, because they'd all have to be censored.
Couldn't find one.
Yeah.
So Death Dancers, 1993, starring Deborah Dutch, Mitchell Scott, Jack Margolis, Leslie Morgan, Sunset Thomas, and a host of other pornographic stars from the early 1990s.
Which you won't be able to recognize because of the quality of the presentation.
Only Sunset Thomas is the only one that you can recognize. Jason Holt did this kind of short run of these random, weird Red Shoe Diary-esque films, Death Dancers being one of them, Desperation Rising being another, Tuesday Never Comes, and The Swindle. He kind of dumped all those out in a short time and then promptly disappeared. This was the last thing he did and then disappeared.
Wow. I would have too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Wow. So you've got Just
The basic idea of this movie is that it's just a bunch of prostitutes killing people.
Yeah, this is definitely made like a porno film. This is 100%.
I called it a softcore anthology.
But it's not an anthology, though.
No, it is, because there's a whole bunch of different sex scenes all connected with some bullshit.
How could so much nudity and so much sex be so boring?
I don't know. Watch Showgirls again. There you go. Because we're older, and like softcore porn doesn't hold any allure for me at all anymore. It's like, oh, I can't get the Playboy channel, so I might as well watch Cinemax and see a boob. And it's
See a boob.
I got the internet in my fucking pocket. I can see so many things if I want to. I think the time for softcore porn has passed, which is probably why I feel the way I do.
Most likely. So I'll do my best to give you a plot here. We open with this maddening voiceover and these little like bits and pieces of a murder, or there's a wife who has a husband, but she's cheating on the husband, but the husband's an asshole, and the lover is the good guy, but she then kills the husband and believes that the other guy's already dead. We are then introduced to Will, who is, I guess, an undercover cop. Sure. Who works at, they everything I saw was like, oh, it's an S&M club. It's not even like a strip club. Like, it's just like, there's a stage and some people dance on it.
Yeah, it's like one go-go dancer.
And like one guy with her. And then there's like, anyway, so he keeps calling Deborah, and she apparently is a madam or a facilitator to send girls to the club to do things, I guess.
That doesn't make sense, but yes.
No, it doesn't make none of this makes any sense. So Will's talking to her, and he's like, I need you to send me another girl. And she's like, I'll send
Pikachu. I choose Pikachu.
I don't know, like, she's like, I'll send Cassandra. Is she good for the job? Yes, I think you'll like Cassandra.
She's a water type.
You know I do all the chicks that come here. And she's like, I know. And then
you'll have to roll for initiative.
And he's like, I want to do you. There's something about you that makes me want to do you. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, you'd have to come to me. And then he's like, I don't come to anyone. They all come to me. And she's like, anyway, so Cassandra's here. Yeah. Cassandra, can you work for Will? She's like, yes, miss, I can work for her. And then I guess she goes to the club.
Sure. So she's not really a brothel owner or madam or any of that. She's just finding temps for a job.
I guess. So then we go forward, and Will's in the club, and he has like sex with these girls that are at the club. And then we go through another one of those like weird arty. And here's the other thing is the sex things are these weird arty, like other things being brought in that we don't know about. And I'm guessing it's supposed to go into like the guy's past, and then like the other girls are there. And then he meets up with these other two that is a woman dressed as a guy, and then the other guy is the other guy that is with her is also a woman. He's dressed like Charlie Chaplin. And she talks with a French accent, but when he greets her, he talks to her in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess they're also bringing girls to the club, or maybe they work at the club.
I don't know.
And then they're like, oh, well, here's another girl for you to work with or whatever. And it's Sunset Thomas, who became a pretty famous porn star in the 90s. And she's just looks like she's annoyed by everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So then they have a scene, and then he brings her to this other guy who has an office there, I guess. And then
Sure.
talks to him about her, and he's like, yeah, you know, she seems like she'd be pretty good for you or whatever, and I always bring you good girls. And the guy's like, yes, you do. And he's like, I like girls that are willing to be slaves for me. And he's like, yeah, she'll do that. Well, okay. So then he leaves, and then he's with the other guy. She's with the other guy, and he goes through this whole thing about like, well, what do you need? And she's like, well, I need money. And he's like, well, how much money do you need? And she's like, I need $10,000.
And this was 90 something, right? So
93.
To adjust for inflation, that's about $4.5 million.
It's $3.9 million.
It's probably like 25,000.
And so he's like, well, if I give you this money, what are you going to do for it? And she's like, well, I'll do anything you want for it or whatever. And so then he's like, well, you're mine. I own you. And then he goes to, I guess he whips her or something. And like, and it's all just so awkward.
Yep.
It's
He's
just so
yelling
awkward.
at her, and I Ellen was sitting there with me, and I'm like, why? What is the appeal of this for people? I don't get it.
It just doesn't make any sense because it's not sexy, and it's definitely a film that is putting sex in the forefront.
Yeah, and it's not S&M. It's just abuse.
No, it's just weird.
Oh, you know, it's humiliation more than
guess.
S&M. I guess. Yeah,
I guess. I mean, that lives in the same world, but like,
but
it's
totally
just, anyway,
different.
So there's that scene with that guy who we then never see again.
No, why would we?
Never shows up again. Then we get Will calling Deborah again, and he's like, listen, he's like, I need to come see you. There's something about you. And she's like, you don't even know what I look like. And he's like, people have told me. And she's like, who told you? And he's like, I don't know, people. So,
good. That's good, people.
And she's like, well, all right. And the two of them, the conversations that they have on the phone are also incredibly awkward.
Yeah, the dialogue, whoever wrote the dialogue, not great, not good, not good. Keep trying. You'll get there, but you haven't got it yet.
So he's going to come and see her. And she's like, well, if you don't do what I say, I'll kill you. And then we learn there's a point before this where one of the cocktail waitresses in the club comes up to Will and she's like, I need to talk to you. And that's when we find out he's an undercover cop. But there's no police. There's no like, she's just like, you're getting too deep into this. You're doing drugs and you're having sex with all the women. And I'm going to go upstairs and tell them that you're out of control.
It's called being undercover.
Yeah. And he's like, don't you tell me how to do my undercover job. And then that's never revisited again either. But we know that there's a serial killer because there's one throwaway line. Well, it's not really a throwaway line. It's the one line that Will says, hey, do you know anything about these killings? And that's it. And Deborah's like, nope, I don't know. Hangs the phone.
Yeah. Shit.
So I gather that he thinks that she's the killer. Because then we get a scene where there's a creepy, sweaty dude from a hotel room calling. He's like, he calls and gets a girl sent over. And he's like, I want a woman that will allow me to hit her and degrade her. And so he does that or whatever, and then calls back and he's like, I want you, Deborah, to come to me and allow me to degrade you. And he says something about how, like, since my wife left, I have nobody to take my aggression out on anymore. It's like, okay, well, there's your problem.
Well, go to a fucking gym and beat up on a speed bag or something, for fuck's sake.
So she shows up, and then we get another one of those kind of random flashback dream sequence, black and white cutaway scenes where she ties him up to the chair and then I guess stabs him.
Yeah.
Sure. And then we go back to the thing and she's on the phone with Will again. But we then get another segment where we go to another dream sequence where we find out that she killed the husband, but she now needs to frame somebody else for it. And she says this thing, and this is where it gets really weird because then I'm like, oh, are we going into supernatural territory? Because she's like, oh, I need your body to this other girl. And she drugs this other girl and then burns down the house with the other girl and frames her because she puts her jewelry on her. I thought they were like going to do like, because she does this weird like witch type seance thing but then like just burns down the house, and they're like, oh well, that was the other girl because they had similar frames or whatever.
Yeah.
So then Will shows up. We find out that Will is actually Bill, who was the girlfriend of the woman who killed the husband. She thought that he was dead, and he thought that she was dead, but because she had to disappear, and she disappeared by like putting on a wig.
Oh, good.
And then the two of them have a moment, but she then ends up killing him and rides off into the sunset, I guess. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, they're very much trying to do Skinamax art here. So they're trying to do like a Red Shoes Diary, Silk Stockings type thing, but they think they're arty and they think they're smart, and they're trying to take this soft core, because let's be honest, this is a porno film just without all of the penetration and the hardcore stuff in it. And they just like slap these like filters and these cutaways and this weird music over it. And I'm just watching it, and I'm just like, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
At how you would like, and I mean, I've watched a lot of art films in my time. I mean, we've watched films that don't make a lick of sense, like Rubber, the one about the killer tire. That film doesn't make a lick of sense, but at least you can sit through it and you can watch it and be like,
yeah,
okay, I see what they're trying to do here.
There's a story you can go through. Hey, this tire's sentient, and it talks to people somehow, and it does this, and this. There's at least a beginning, middle, and end to that story.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know. Is it the beginning? Do we start in the middle? Is it just part of a script from something else that they padded with sex scenes? Because there's literally 15 minutes of story in this whole thing.
Yeah. It's just like, there was no saving this movie. There was no little thing that they could do to make it good, but they definitely could have done things to just make the story a little bit more clear. And there's just things that just don't need to happen. Like there's the whole thing with Sunset Thomas's character where she's sold to that guy, and it takes up a good 10-15 minutes of the already short hour and 17-minute runtime.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything or mean anything. So this guy's an undercover cop who then sells this girl to that guy, and he just fucking unleashes on her and makes her this like slave to him. And like Will doesn't do anything about it because he's too busy out there pining for his girlfriend that's not around anymore, but also is talking to his girlfriend that's not around anymore, who's also selling women to this club while murdering men that are treating women poorly after this guy just sold this woman to that. Like, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's like they're creating their own like killing pool. Oh, you're gonna call me and ask to beat somebody up? Yeah, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I definitely showered after this was over because I felt dirty after watching it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Chris, do you recommend, and what is your grade for Death Dancers?
Nah, I can't. Even if I was like 15 years old, I don't think I could recommend this for the nudity or anything. It's unwatchable. I mean, it's watchable for sure, but it should be considered unwatchable. It's just sex scenes filmed too close and with a lot of cuts. So you don't even get the satisfaction of really finding out what's happening. It's just boobs and hairy, oily skin for the dude. I don't remember much about it except for the woman that could not do a French accent.
Yeah, and then there's a point where she ends up on stage, and they reveal that she's a woman, like we didn't know already.
Yeah, no, that tricked me. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then we never see them again.
No, why would we? This really does feel like one of those, hey, I have a bunch of ideas that I can't work together into a script, and I like them, and I don't want to let them go. And then maybe they just improvised on the day as well. I don't know. I do not recommend this, and this honestly should be an F. So it is.
Fair.
Sorry, I understand why these movies are made.
Yep. And you also got to remember 1993, different world.
Oh, yeah. But even back then, this wasn't the kind of erotic thing I was looking for.
No, God, no.
I'd rather watch like the Bear Wench Project, where it's a little tongue in cheek and tongue in butt and whatever else.
Tongue in butt.
There, I got a joke in. All right,
there
good.
we go. All right.
So, yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm also, I mean, I will say this. I cannot recommend it, but it has to be seen to be believed.
Mm-hmm.
It is easily top 10. Like I said, top 5 strangest. Why did this get made? And what were they thinking films we've ever done? So in that sense, part of it is like maybe you should watch it just on that, but I'm not recommending it. No. And honestly, it would have been better if it was a porno, because then you could justify the lack of storytelling.
You wouldn't need that much. No, you could have all of the conflict.
You wouldn't care
within,
because you wouldn't be watching it for that.
Right.
Like, I mean, no, nobody watches pornography with a story. Do they even make pornography with story anymore?
Yeah.
They do? Okay. I mean,
I've heard.
Sure. Anyway, moving on.
No, but there's all different kinds for different tastes, and that's definitely one.
Either way,
it
it would have been better if it was just an adult film and you pulled back on the artsiness and like, because I feel like as you're watching it, it's like all those weird arty cutaways, black and white footage, overlay, dream sequence shit. Like I feel like that they made a pornography and then covered up all the nasty bits with those scenes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if you pull those away and then you just have the sex scenes, it's like, okay, well I get what I'm watching here.
Yeah,
I was so confused.
Yeah, and if it was just a straight porn, you need, 5 minutes of conversation at most between scenes?
Well, the runtime for this was 1 hour and 17 minutes. How much of it wasn't sex scenes?
17 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. I will say this, though. The main girl, Shannon, or Deborah Dutch, put everything she fucking had into this movie. And her candor and the way she speaks is so bizarre. It's like I can't even like do an attempt to like do the voice because it's just so weird. It's like stunted and robotic, but also like trying to be sexy. And like it is bizarre. Yeah. You know what? Fire it up on Tubi. Just find the scenes where she's talking on the phone and just watch those, and then like you're gonna be good with it. So I'm going as low as I possibly can without failing it because I did make it to the end of it. I don't know what happened. Apparently somebody was somebody's father, but also their brother. So there was some sort of taboo that they were trying to like put in there, but not. And she was pregnant at one time, but then lost the baby in the I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's going to be a D-, and literally like if it was a grade, it's a 60. So it's like as close as you can possibly get, but like, well, you finished it. Yeah. And I was able to get to the end of it. So I'm not going to fail you.
That's fair.
Death Dancers. Jay was right when he said, I don't even know what to do with this movie.
Well, I do appreciate the fact that like he didn't work on it or something.
Yeah.
And we'll find out next week.
Maybe
it was my idea for the French woman dressed up as a man. Ah, shit.
Oh, man. All right. Joe's back this week. Let's see what he's got.
Well, hello, Bill. Hello, Chris. And hello, OTC Nation. It's your boy Joe here. And this week, Bill took me to what looks like and what I think is UCLA's campus. So he made me watch Fright Night Part 2 from 1988. Awkward-ass year. Isn't it funny how watching a movie that you haven't seen in almost 30 years can bring back like a really distinct memory?
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna avoid. I'm gonna try to avoid getting sappy here. But if I'm writing a love letter to the movies, one of the wonderful things about them that I'm gonna bring up is the connection to other people, like lifelong, indelible connections that they can provide us. I promise I will bring this back around to Fright Night 2 in a moment. But
Okay.
the presently glaring and relevant example is getting clued into Outside the Cinema. I was instantly a fan by the time I finished my first episode of the show. Cut to 13 years later. Fuck that. Star wipe to 13 years later. Yes. And I've had the privilege to steal a few moments per show to try to get a laugh out of Bill and Chris and the listeners.
Not Scott, though.
Like that kind of, that might have sounded like a retirement speech, but I promise it's not. Like, good luck getting rid of me. You're going to need to boot me off this motherfucker.
I mean, I could just stop playing you each
and
week.
We've all got friends that we associate with certain movies that created a bond, or times when a movie opened us up to new ideas or philosophies, or hell, or just, a day when we were a kid and it was hotter than Michigan should ever have any realistic right to be. And you just go to the movie theater and you spend 90 minutes getting out of the summer heat watching the Dan Aykroyd, Tom Hanks Dragnet movie and thinking it was the funniest fucking thing you'd ever seen in your life.
I'm going to have to watch that.
I was like 11. Now. So,
I remember
bear with me here. Still love that movie, but it's hardly the height of comedy. In regards to Fright Night 2, however.
It has its moments.
Circling back. It was on HBO one night, and my dad and I sat down to watch it. Now, movies is one of the ways that my dad and I bonded with each other. He's a sports guy. I'm dramatically not a sports guy because nobody can tell me who the good guy and the bad guy is and what kind of story they're trying to tell me. And, Nolan Ryan never threw a super kick at anybody. So what are we even doing here? But anyway, my dad took me to see basically every single cool movie in the 80s. Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, RoboCop, Predator. If it was cool and in the 80s, we sat down and watched it. But here, so like I said, we're in the basement, we're watching HBO, Fright Night 2 comes on. One of the more notable characters is the main vampire's, I guess they're like her valet. That character is named Belle. Belle is the ambiguous black person in the movie with hair that looks like Pepe Le Pew went to the Southern Mom Big Hair Conference in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and while out in the parking lot having a smoke, got hit with 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. I'm like 12, so I asked my dad, what's going on over here? And my Buddy Holly-looking, baby boomer, middle-class USA baseball, straight as an arrow, apple pie, Midwestern ass dad used that as a way to make sure that I was a good person by explaining what transgender, gender fluid, and intersex meant, and capped it off with making sure that I knew to treat everyone, that is, everyone literally, with respect and dignity.
In the 80s?
Now that was both a weird and long way of both praising my dad and explaining how Fright Night 2 ensured that I would not become an asshole.
Nice.
I had forgotten about that until I hit play just a little while ago. Weird. Anyway, there's an underwhelming sequel to a good movie to watch here, so let's get at that. We are seemingly a year or two after the events of the first movie. And did we really need a recap of the first movie to start this off? Did we? Like, is anyone going to the movie theater, seeing Fright Night 2 on the listings, and just pointing to it and grunting, that one, to the poor kid working the ticket counter?
Me?
I would argue that even if that was the case, that person either doesn't need or doesn't care about the events of the first film.
Right.
In this case, at least they use it to transition into Charlie Brewster, no apparent relation to Punky, in a therapy session with the guy who would later go on to voice Pumbaa in The Lion King. He's in college now. His girlfriend from the first movie, having presumably moved to the Chicago suburbs to bother some clod of a shoe salesman.
Yeah, marry somebody.
He's now
Steve.
dating a girl much like her, though. She's as pretty as a spring daisy, but has all the sex drive of like a bored, depressed panda bear.
Okay.
So the opposite of
I'm
what we
sorry,
just
but if your
watched.
species is going extinct because you simply don't want to or don't know how to fuck, maybe that's an argument that some species aren't worth saving.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've seen
Then a
dumb
group
pandas.
of vampires featuring character actors John Grease and Brian Thompson,
Yeah.
two guys that I love. They move on to campus, and that's one of my kind of vague issues with this movie. There aren't a lot of big glaring issues, just a few vague ones. There are so many different locations, and those locations all have dramatically different vibes. And there's just a whole lot going on here story-wise to match it, that it kind of feels like this might have been written by committee and nobody was willing to concede their idea of what this should be. Oh, hey, there actually is one big issue, and that's it. Anyway, moving on. 1 minute, Charlie is getting like dream seduced by the sexy vampire lady, and there's like billowing curtains and a kind of like, vague general threat. And then the next minute, John Grease is like a half like werewolf kind of vampire. He's like a vampire monster guy. Nards have yet to be determined. But he starts climbing into a window, and his fingers get smushed by a topless girl who doesn't even see him there, even though he's like right in the window, and he takes like the Three Stooges bump into the bushes below.
Yeah,
like
this is a comedy.
Below.
Yeah.
Good bit by the stuntman there. That looks like it sucked. And then 1 minute, the sexy lady vampire is like giving Roddy McDowell a speech about being Jerry Dandridge's sister and that his punishment will be as severe as what he did to her brother. And then the next minute, Bella, the character referenced earlier, attacks an art student by roller skating up to her like they're one of the Wheelers from Return to Oz, and then just like makes a Jackson Pollock in her sketchbook with her blood.
Yeah.
It's okay to go back and forth between like serious and not serious, but there has to be some kind of glue that holds it together, or
Where's the
an
blood?
actual transition piece. Throughout, though, sexy lady vampire is trying to turn Charlie into a vampire. And initially, you think it's about, classic vampire seduction with gender roles reversed. But as I said earlier, she reveals herself to be Jerry Dandridge's sister, and she wants to vamp out Charlie to make him immortal so that she can torture him forever for killing her brother. And fuck me if that's not a great villain motivation.
Actually is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's been done before, but I haven't seen it in a while. And just the way she explains how she wants to turn him into a vampire, not because she wants to fuck him, but because she wants to make him immortal so she can just go ham on him for the next century, is just amazing.
Yeah.
The good guys win the day after multiple displays of very cool and very gooey practical effects. And here's the thing. The good. More than I remembered, honestly. Great gore effects, a couple of genuine laughs. Everyone is clearly enjoying making this movie very much. And it kind of feels like a predecessor in vibe to the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Like Fright Night 2 crawled so Monster Squad could walk. The bad. Everything is disjointed and clunky in how it goes about telling the story. Like, as a collection of scenes, this movie is really actually pretty good. As a complete movie, this is as shaky and poorly constructed as a ride at your, like, that county in your state, the one that nobody really wants to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's as shaky and poorly constructed as a ride at that county fair. All in all, Fright Night 2 was whelming. Not over, not under.
That's a good way to put it.
It was whelming, but better than I remembered. The old girl is going to get a B and a recommendation to find it on YouTube, because this thing has more issues with rights than America is currently dealing with.
So true.
I'll be back next week with the 2011 remake, which held the same level of interest for me as the title of the 1987 film starring Andrew McCarthy and Robert Downey Jr., based on a Bret Easton Ellis novel.
Oh, I know.
I'll leave you with that one. Until then, be good, everyone.
Cool, dude. Thanks, man.
That was a surprising ending. in less than zero. I was not ready for that.
Yeah, me either. I haven't watched that in years. That's actually
I don't
want to
watch it.
revisit. No, it's definitely depressing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, Ultron and Iron Man did get along at one point.
That's true. All right, let's see what Scott's up to this week.
I hope you're excited for a brand new holy shit.
Always. Do we want to just get into this?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
That's the spirit.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
With Reverend Scott.
Podcasting in this economy?
Nice.
I say so many witty things.
Hey there, Bill and Chris. This is Reverend Scott. And to be honest, I have zero motivation to make a segment today.
You're going to do this or I'm going to fuck your mom.
And I can't wait to do this. But unfortunately for you, you get to hear about yet another remake.
Well, that was your bad decision, not mine.
Oh, don't get your panties all in a bunch just yet. This isn't exactly a remake. It's kind of a meta sequel thing. Because this time they took a movie touted as being real that's almost 5 decades old and created a new movie with the same name that's fictional.
Like what?
Yeah.
What is the 2026 version of Faces of Death.
Why?
Faces of Death was written and directed by David Goldhaber. And if that name sounds familiar, I'm not sure how. There's no way you've ever heard of anything having to do with this guy before. But it stars 2 faces that you may remember. There's Barbie Ferreira as Margot Romero. Wait, where have I heard that last name before? Is that like a horror movie dude's name? What a coincidence.
No, it's the guy that made. If it was intentional, then they did a fantastic job.
Well,
John
anyway,
Romero.
you might remember her as the other tech store employee in 2022's Nope. But that's probably about it. The other face you may recognize
she
would
was
be our
in
main
Euphoria.
antagonist, Arthur Spivak, a.k.a. Dacre Montgomery. His name you may not necessarily know, but you'd remember his mullet when he played Max's stepbrother Billy in Stranger Things. Well, in Faces of Death, he's still a Stranger Thing, but we'll get to that. So just calm down, chill out.
That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's all cool, baby.
Imagine with me, if you will, it is the year 2024. I'm not sure if it's supposed to actually be modern day or if it's just the fact that this was filmed in 2023 and they didn't realize the film would be shelved for several years. But anyway, it's 2024 and you're Margot Romero and you work for a company called Kino. Think of it like, I don't know, TikTok and YouTube. They're kind of mixed together for a online platform that hasn't yet ruined all its content moderation with AI yet. In fact, they still use real-life humans to manually allow or flag content that's been flagged by their community. Margot is one of those such moderators. All day, you sit in a cube, watching the most depraved videos uploaded in rapid succession, just loving your fucking job.
Wait, you can get
try
paid
to
for that?
parse out the normal depraved shit from the actual depraved shit. It's a soul-crushing job to see death, torture, sexual abuse, and decide if it's real or not, or if it's artistic or exploitative. There's a little social commentary mixed in there too in these scenes, as she'll allow something involving horrific violence, but then she'll turn around and take down a video for sexual content because it showed how to properly put a condom on a banana.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You would. Anyway, she comes across a video depicting a terrorist beheading video. The victim is seemingly a live person, but everyone around her is a mannequin with an X of red tape on their eyes. The arm of the mannequin has a large blade in its hand, and as a narrator speaks in a monotone voice about beheading videos, the girl's head is chopped clean off with some squirts of blood coming out from the neck. As realistic as it may have looked, Margot kind of shrugs it off as fake. Then a second video pops up a different day, and some narrator, this time speaking about executing someone in the electric chair. A real man surrounded by more mannequins with red tape on their eyes. He's prepared in the electric chair and then electrocuted in foaming mouth and blood from the eyes fashion. Margot is starting to get really concerned at this point, to the point where she brings it up with her boss. Her boss shrugs it off too, and reminds her how this would reflect negatively on him because he's the one that brought her into this company. So, just don't push things. Besides, it's probably fake, right? It's no big deal.
It may not be serious looking, but it is very well made.
Yeah, I guess so. But besides, Margot signed an NDA. She can't even talk about or look up things about these videos outside of work. So immediately after work, Margot talks about the videos with her roommate and starts posting about them on Reddit. She finds links to these videos based on the hashtag on them saying FOD 2024, which, to us means Faces of Death 2024, but she doesn't really know that yet. That's when a Redditor replies in the mentions that, electric chair guy kind of looks like this missing journalist. It's been reported missing for a while now. Really looks like that guy. And somebody else says they're like a blood pathologist, and the squirts of blood from the neck on the beheading video look like they might be legit. So she's starting to really get worked up in a panic. And then they also mentioned that, these videos kind of remind us of that old Faces of Death film. And I'm just sitting there in the theater thinking,
get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. What the hell's wrong with you?
But as it turns out, Reddit was actually right. That is exactly what's happening. And it just so happens that her roommate is a film buff of old horror and happens to have a Faces of Death 1978 VHS sitting in his collection that she can watch and start seeing some of the exact same recreated scenes in that movie as she's seeing on these Kino videos. You see, Arthur Spivak works at some telecoms tech store, kind of like a mixture between like a T-Mobile and a Radio Shack. And to pass the time, he doom scrolls on the Kino app looking for influencers that, kind of stick out to him. And once he finds one he likes, such as some girl at a college named Samantha that has amassed a pretty big following in the beauty community, he decides it's someone that he needs to track down. So once he's figured out what state she's in, he uses his work resources to find her IP address, her location, her full name, and everything so he can track her down in person. I'm sure that's all legal. Arthur hides in the woman's locker room, wearing a full red eye contacts, pantyhose over his head, and a plain white face mask. Then he kind of toys with her with a phone stuck to the wall playing some of her videos, and then eventually injects her with some, fentanyl or some other bullshit to knock her out. And how he does all of this with no one else coming into the room the entire time or wondering why he's carrying this woman out to his car afterwards is beyond me.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll let it go. Anyway, Arthur needs to keep collecting people to have victims for his reenactment videos so he can keep them in cages at his home until it's their time. And since these videos are so fucked up, they're getting to be quite popular. And it's pretty obvious that Arthur also loves all this attention. I mean, he's fucking practically getting off on it. But he also reminds us constantly that he's just giving the audience what they want, which just so happens to be remaking the deaths from Faces of Death with the original narration voiced over top of the video.
But if you understand what they're doing and what they're emulating, you're like, oh, okay, this is actually this is legit. They know it, like you said, they know what they're doing. They are being, I think, purposeful in everything. I don't think anything happened by happy accident.
Yeah, I know. I just told you that he's doing it on purpose, which, by the way, is driving Margot nuts at work. Because the third video has dropped with this man being forced to reenact the famous monkey brains scene from the Faces of Death, having his head trapped in this table and then the mannequins bash his skull open with mallets, then his brain being picked out and fed to them with a fork, which is pretty gory for the most part, but the violence in this is definitely more on the grisly side and definitely more mean-spirited. Unlike the movie They Will Kill You I reviewed last week, which was more like hyper-violent and kind of fun.
It was the most blood I had seen spurt out at once in a long time.
It's a pressurized Asian.
Yes.
Arthur finds some more victims, one of which he wants to reenact the suicide by cop scene from the old Faces of Death. So he picks a
Just watch
TV
the
personality that he thinks will get him even more attention. Meanwhile, Margot has gone full Reddit schizo, posting a full diatribe about everything that she's found with links and all kinds of shit after she gets her hands on some raw uploaded data footage that she stole from the Kino's servers. This results in a third act involving her provoking Arthur, him showing up and kidnapping her, and a wild ride of him doing a live stream of disposing a chopped up body with acid, and Margot making some truly baffling decisions regarding time management while inside the home of a serial killer. I'm serious, there's a section of film where I thought Margot could just, quickly get some evidence of Arthur's crimes. She has everything right in front of her, labeled and separated, clearly sitting there. Just take it and run, right? But instead of just taking it and trying to escape, she sits there looking through videos and reading shit.
That's a good point, actually.
That's weird, right, though?
Yeah, it's not something you would think to do, but it actually makes sense.
No, it doesn't, Bill. It's one of the most frustrating scenes I've ever witnessed. It went from this frantic, panic escape scene to just sitting there like she's at the fucking library doing a forensic study on a video. And it just never seemed to end. It just kept cutting away and cutting back, and she's still fucking there. Like, what are you goddamn doing?
I didn't think it could keep it up. Surprised me.
This had a relatively low budget. Most of it probably went to Mr. Stranger Things and some of the gore practical effects, because it certainly didn't go to filming on location. I mean, we see Margot's shitty apartment some, her dingy office, but this was filmed primarily in one location.
It was made in Flugger. It was made in Texas.
Actually, I was going to say Arthur's house, but who knows? Could have been Texas. He has converted his garage into mannequin storage and has a secret entrance to his basement where he stages his films and has all his people caged up, and he has all his video equipment for his Kino videos. There's some intense action, some disturbing scenes, and lots of screaming. And I mean lots of screaming. Like several actors screaming directly into the camera several times, and not just because they're scared or something, it's just because they needed to be animalistic or something. Once or twice would have been fine, but I swear it was like every other scene.
That was weird, and then the next scene is that times 2.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes they do it twice in a scene. This movie is very aware of the meta-ness as well. At one point, Margot's roommate says the original Faces of Death was all fake, which obviously wasn't all real, but it certainly wasn't all fake either. Supposedly 60% of it was real footage and the rest was staged. Unfortunately, most of all that really famous material, the stuff that you hear about the most, was from the stage scenes. For a film in 1978 that basically claimed all to be real, it was a massive gut punch for many people to find out how much of it was fake.
But it is kind of like a big right turn, like a 90-degree turn. Not quite 180, but like a 90-degree turn that like kind of comes out of nowhere.
Not for me, of course. I knew.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
At the end of the day, I think Faces of Death accomplished what it set out to do. It created some disturbing scenes that maybe made some people squirm in their seats, acted as a quasi-meta sequel to the original film, and it did it in a decently entertaining way. Now, are there a massive amount of logical loopholes in the film that when you think about how could it have ever worked like that in real life, it makes you feel like...
Oh, excuse me.
You're excused.
Oh, I'm getting all
how Arthur has been able to use his work computer to track people down, drag them around, throw them in his trunk, kill them, dispose of them, keep them at his house, and do it very often, all while posting it up on the internet and not have anyone outside of Margot seem to even notice up until now, is beyond me. Margot even tried to tell the police, but without having any bodies or crime scenes or anything like that, they didn't seem too interested. So Margot was like, evidence. I can see how that might be helpful.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I actually didn't even think of that.
I didn't until just now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad somebody did.
At the end of the day, I'll go ahead and recommend Faces of Death. It's not my favorite bloody film of the year, but it's not too bad. Enough to give it either a straight B, maybe a B minus. I'll have to think about it. It might go down. Okay, that's it for my review, but quickly, regarding your review of They Call Her Death, aka...
I'm gonna kill the people who killed my husband. Okay, have fun, I guess. Let me know when you're home.
I liked how it looked and the way it paid tribute to older revenge cinema, but it's just too bad the acting really seemed to distract from what they were trying to do. So I give They Call Her Death a B minus, and the review gets a B plus. Lastly was Rats, aka...
There was something else I was going to say. Okay. But I don't remember.
Damn it, Bill, it was your turn to come up with a joke this time. Oh, well, I mean, it seemed like a pretty damn good low-budget, quirky, early 2000s vibed wacko comedy. I can dig that. So I give it an A minus. And the review gets a B plus as well. All right, that's all I got for this week. So until the next 70s snuff film that's actually half fake made into a 2026 meta sequel that's all fake, peace and love, guys. Outside the Cinema, the internet's only cult movie straight edge podcast.
Hey, man, you like Molly? He's like, I like Molly. I'm going to do some Molly.
I need drugs.
I'll tell you, after watching Death Dancers, I might start.
Oof. Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on places to follow us at OTC Bill, at Cthulhu, SpectopiaArts.com. We got a Facebook group. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/outside the cinema. That's the best way to support the show.
Yeah.
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 I don't really have anything else. So
Nah.
I bid you adieu.
Bye.